Shaka, what about PSV as a whole? This is kind of CONCACAF light over there in the Champions League. What does it say about maybe football in this region that a team that's leading very heavily on CONCACAF players has advanced here to the knockout stages of the Champions League? And how much credit does North America get for PSV's success?
Listen, I think PSV and CONCACAF by extension have a lot to be proud of. PSV have been doing wonderfully well, both domestically and in Europe, and it shows. It's good to see players like Serginho Dest and Herc touched on it after an indifference and being as polite as I possibly can, international window to have the impact that he continues to. And I think it's important, and you touch on it, because while we're talking about US and Mexican internationals, I think the knock-on effect for the rest of CONCACAF in terms of just providing eyeballs for the region and opportunities for CONCACAF players goes beyond just those big two or big three if you want to include Canada. So everybody has my support because I think it bodes well for the region, for the level of football that we're playing here, and for how prepared players are in moving from one of the CONCACAF regions, one of the domestic leagues here to Europe, even if it's one of the smaller European leagues.
They're not just contributing. That's the thing. They're actually heavy hitters. You look at Serginho Dest. He's one of the best outside backs today in the Eredivisie. Malik Tillman comes from Rangers, and this kid's going to hit double-digit goals and maybe assists this season in a part-time role sometimes. Chucky Lozano looks like he's back to his old self on the club level. Ricardo Pepi gets minutes, and he's scoring goals. And here's the thing we didn't mention. Ernie Stewart, the sporting director. What a genius move this looks like for Ernie Stewart. Jumps ship from U.S. Soccer. Everybody's like, why would you do that? Goes to PSV, and they're perfect in the Netherlands. They're perfect in the Eredivisie, and they're one of the teams outside of the top five to make it to the next round. It looks like a genius move, and he's orchestrating it all with CONCACAF. Yeah.
I'm thinking about the Pepi goal steal and kind of the laundry list of big American goals in the Champions League. Outside of maybe the Tyler Adams quarterfinal goal against Atleti, which was a game winner, and the Pulisic goal against Real Madrid. It's hard to think of another one. Pifak had one. Didn't he have a late game winner against Man United when he was with Young Boys? That felt pretty big. But for what this means for PSV, again, first time since 2016 going through to the knockout rounds, it's major for Pepi and major for PSV. Real quickly, Shaka, you're a Champions League guy. Can PSV make some noise here, or is it round of 16 and done?
Listen, I think they're playing with house money, and that's always a good place to be when nobody really expects an awful lot of you. So you're in a hiding to absolutely nothing. If I'm putting some of my mortgage on PSV to go deep in the competition, my wife will be happy to hear me say no, I won't. And listen, you get a tough group. You finish second in that group, even though nobody, I'm not sure what people expect going into it. And then all of a sudden, the seeded draw in the next round, it comes down to who you pick. As a second seed, again, it's going to be more difficult than not. But again, you're playing with house money, and every boxer has a puncher's chance in any game.
Yeah, they didn't seem to have a puncher's chance in the first game against Arsenal. I think nobody's picking Arsenal to win the Champions League, so that kind of tells you everything you need to know.
Quick thought on.
We're not discussing whether they can win it, surely.
No, but if you're a second seed, like you say, you're going to play a team that's essentially better than Arsenal.
True. Yeah.
There we go. Herc, real quick, thought on Chucky Lozano and the injury. How big a worry is this?
Well, it's a worry because you finally got him going. You got him going at the club level. He seems to be somewhat going at the international level with the Mexican national team. Last year with Napoli, and that was the Italian champions Napoli, he was a player that started a lot of games. You would say a vast majority. He started more than he did not, but 3 goals, 3 assists. It wasn't the Chucky Lozano of old that we're used to. The last time he really made waves in Europe, I mean big-time waves, was probably at PSV, where he had 2 seasons where he had 17 goals apiece. He seems like he's becoming that player again. A lot of that may be the level, but it's also his confidence. We're finally getting him back, so an injury is just worst-case scenario for him right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Never like a hamstring injury. Although I will say, after the game, he looked to be in pretty good spirits. Obviously, the team is going through, but he didn't seem like a guy who knew he would be missing too much time coming.